Okay, I'm ready.
So do we start, or are you gonna have any intro about what
No,
I'm doing?
we know what it is.
Okay. So, what is your full name?
Joanne Ardell Johnson Norling.
Why did your parents select this name for you?
I have no idea. I guess I never asked.
When and where were you born?
I was born in south of Brandon, Minnesota, in Douglas County, on a farm.
On the farm?
And when?
What?
When?
May 15th, 1930.
What was the house you grew up in like?
Well, it was a farmhouse. It was always nice and warm. A two-story. Bedrooms are upstairs. Kitchen, pantry, living room downstairs, and 3 bedrooms upstairs. And at that time, there was no inside bathroom.
That was important to know, Spencer.
Yep,
Okay.
especially in the winter time.
Yeah,
You know what we don't have in there? Ask her about how many brothers and sisters.
How many brothers and sisters did you have?
I had 2 brothers and 2 sisters living, and then I had 2 sisters that died.
What kind of games did you play when you were growing up?
We played a lot of Monopoly and checkers, Chinese checkers, and card games.
Let's see. Did you have any family chores? What were they?
Yes, I had to go pick the eggs and wash the eggs to get them ready for my dad to take to town to sell. And I did not like that job because sometimes those chickens would pick at you because they didn't want to give up their eggs. And sometimes they were pretty messy, but that's what I had to do.
What was school like for you as a child?
I went to a country school for my first 8 years, where everybody was in the same room, all 8th grades, and I had some really good teachers. There was only 2, another guy and myself in my grade, but I enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun, learned a lot, good teachers.
Then, wait.
What were your best and worst
Well, just wait. Then after the 8 years, then
Oh,
did you?
Oh, then I went to high school for 4 years.
Where was that?
In
city?
Alec.
In Alexandria?
Yeah.
What were your best and worst subjects?
My best what?
What were your best and worst subjects?
Well, I liked geography and history. Math was okay. It wasn't one of my favorites, but I did okay in that. And I like literature, reading.
What was your religion growing up? What church, if any, did you attend?
I went to a Lutheran church, and I was confirmed in a Lutheran church also.
What world events had the most impact on you while you were growing up?
What events?
Yep.
World events, yeah.
World events.
Oh, well, when Pearl Harbor was bombed, I was only 9 years old, but I remember exactly where I was. And at that time, I don't think anybody really knew where Pearl Harbor was. But and we didn't have television. We had just the radio, and I think once a week we got a newspaper. So, but my dad kept up on it pretty good, you know. So that was pretty. And I had a cousin who was killed at Pearl Harbor on one of the ships on the Arizona.
On Arizona? Hmm.
Who was that?
His name was Earl Sletto. He
Okay.
was only, I suppose he was only probably about 21 or 22 years old. And I don't remember him because he was a lot older than I was.
Right.
And he was gone, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Describe a typical family dinner. Did you all eat together as a family? Who did the cooking, and what were your favorite foods?
My, yeah, we all ate together. Breakfast, noon, we called it dinner. Now I guess you call it lunch. And then supper. And my mother and my sister did the cooking. I didn't do too much cooking because I was quite a bit younger. I think my favorite food just and living on a farm, we had all kinds of meat and stuff, you know. And I think probably my favorite still is roast beef and mashed potatoes and gravy.
Okay, so how were holidays celebrated in your family? Did you have special traditions?
Well, we had birthday parties, and then Christmas was big at our place. Christmas Eve, we always went to church, and then we stayed home, just my family. And then Christmas Day, we always went to my grandma's in town, and all the cousins and aunts and uncles were there, and so it got to be quite a few. And she just had a little house. I don't know how she did it, but we didn't know any better. It was fun though.
Okay, so have any recipes been passed down to you from family members?
Yeah, lefse. It was my grandma's recipe.
Grandma's recipe. So, was your grandma born in the United States, or did she?
Hmm?
Was your grandma born in the United States, or was
Yeah,
she?
my grandma.
Okay.
My grandpa. My grandpa on my mother's side wasn't,
Okay.
and on my dad's side they were both born here too.
Okay.
But my grandma was born here.
Okay. So, but it probably came overseas at some point.
Yeah.
That recipe.
He was only I think 17 or something like that, pretty young, you know. But he had an older brother that came first, you know. And I suppose they just had to write, you know, so it took a long time for correspondence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But,
Huh.
so,
Okay, so when and how did you meet your spouse?
when I was in high school, Grandpa Jim had just come home from the service. And my best girlfriend in high school, and her sister was getting married when I knew her too. And Grandpa Jim and another guy had just come home from the service because the war was over. And the bride, wanted these two guys to be their ushers and wear their uniforms because they had just come home. And that's how I met him. Isn't that romantic?
At a wedding?
Okay, so when and where did you get married?
We got married in Alexandria in the Congregational Church.
And when?
December 11th, 1946.
Okay, so how would you describe your spouse? What did you admire most about him?
What did I what?
What did you admire most about him?
Oh, he was a hard worker. And he loved his family. Not to say that I didn't sometimes get mad at him, but he was really a hard worker. And And we didn't have a lot of money, so we couldn't do a whole lot with our kids, but and swimming and stuff like that, you know. It was really a treat if once in a while we could go to a Dairy Queen.
Okay, so 4 questions left. What do you believe is the key to a successful marriage?
Well, you have to work together and talk things out. Try not to go to bed mad at each other. Just work hard and try to get along. It's not easy, is it, David?
Not always.
But that's human nature, you know. People say they have a perfect marriage, they're dreaming.
Okay, so what did your family enjoy doing together?
Well, mostly not a whole lot, because we just didn't have a lot of money to do extra things, you know. But summertime we'd go swimming and take the kids swimming, and then of course we got TV. That was a big plus. They like to watch TV, you know.
Probably
The
watched Vikings.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your profession and how did you choose it?
Oh, well, when I was growing up, I always wanted to be a nurse. Well, then instead I got married. So then, when the kids were bigger, I applied for a job at the hospital as a nurse's aide, and I worked there for 19 years. First, I started out at nights, then I worked days after that, and then after that, at that time, the kids were all gone, and I was working weekends, and Grandpa didn't like that. So then I started working for, it was called Public Health, and I worked just Monday through Friday. And I worked there for over 19 years. I liked it, though. It was fun. Hard work, but taking care of people in their homes.
Okay, so final question. What accomplishments were you the most proud of?
What?
What accomplishments
Oh.
were you most
Oh,
proud
I
of?
think raising our 5 kids, and they're all hard workers, and the grandkids are hard workers. They all got jobs, and they're just good kids. I think we did pretty good.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, you
in
are
this
so.
interview.
Thank you. You're welcome.